Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome to my friends. Happy Monday. This is episode 258 of the Music Mondays podcast. Hope you all had a good week. Hope you all had a good weekend. What's cracking, my friends? How are we feeling? What's new? Um, this is Music Mondays, man, and we are well into 2026, and this is actually our first 2026 episode, which is pretty crazy, pretty fucking crazy to think about, to be honest with you. So, yeah, welcome to 2026. It's a new year. Nothing will be changing with the Music Mondays podcast, of course, but yeah, this is our first episode of 2026, and like I said, I'm your host, Tom Slays. And this is episode 258 of the Music Mondays podcast. So, per usual, I have some updates for you guys when it comes down to some Music Monday stuff. We're going to go over some weekly recap jazz. We're going to talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We have some 2026 roadmap stuff that I kind of want to go over as well. So, well, let's just hop right into it. And then, of course, we're going to finish off with some reactions and reviews per usual. But let's go over some weekly recap stuff and talk about what you missed at Music Mondays over the last week or so. So, per usual, Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are available and in stock right now. We still have some back stock of smalls, mediums, and larges of the basic Music Mondays logo t-shirt. So, if you want to purchase one of those, United States shipping only, $20 including shipping as well. So, again, feel free to message us or send us a DM, send us an email if you'd like to purchase one of those. And, of course, per usual, following the live show every single Monday, you can find that night's episode on the Music Mondays Patreon, where we upload the full high quality version of the show for you guys to clip, download. You want to record it or anything like that, that is available on the Music Mondays Patreon every single Tuesday. And then, of course, submissions open for the following week's show every single Tuesday as well. So, again, if you'd like to submit for episode 259, submissions will be opening on January 6th tomorrow. So, again, make sure you follow us on socials and stay up to date for when those submissions do go live. Let's see here. Outside of that, heading into Wednesday, we did February 2025 Patreon appreciation. That is available right now on all of our social media for everybody that did subscribe to the Music Mondays Patreon for the entire month of February last year. So definitely go show that some love, and huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patrons. You guys are fucking wonderful, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Heading deeper into Wednesday, of course, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday. So again, follow us on socials and stay up to date with all of our submissions and when those do go live, so you can be the first to submit. But again, SoundCloud Sunday submissions do open every single Wednesday, so make sure you follow us on socials and stay up to date. Finishing off Wednesday, we do have some audio podcast promo for the following day as well, since the Monday show drops every single Thursday on all audio platforms. So again, we do a little promo on Wednesday nights as well. So that is available right now on all of our socials. And then that was Wednesday. Heading into Thursday, episode 257 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on all audio platforms. Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are available. So definitely go check that out and go shout out some love. And huge shout out to everybody that did submit episode 257. Last week's episode was another banger. Yeah, we've been finishing out the shows pretty strong over the last month or so. The submissions have just been really, really consistent. So, definitely go check out episode 257 for sure. Then we ended up Thursday with a brand new YouTube upload. The 2025 Music Mondays Awards update. I gave a little bit of an update on last week's show, episode 257, on where the Music Mondays Awards stand. What are the updates? What's going on with that? Dates and things like that. So definitely go check that out if you want any Music Mondays Awards updates. We'll actually be talking a little bit about that before we dive into some reactions and reviews. So that'll be solid. That was Thursday. So again, busy Thursday. Heading into Friday, a brand new article is actually live by me over there on the Music Mondays homepage. That was just a quick, short review of the Current Cases of Mondays Collection 3 project. And just a reminder that you should definitely go stream that if you haven't already. So definitely go check out that article. And huge shout out to everybody that did submit a track for Current Cases of the Mondays Collection 3. So brand new article is live right now. Let's see here. So heading into Saturday, episode 257 of the Music Mondays podcast is available on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. That is available every single Saturday. So if you prefer to listen to the Music Mondays podcast or watch the podcast over there on YouTube, that does drop every single Saturday. And again, huge shout out to everybody that did submit to episode 257. You guys are fucking legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Heading deeper into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 220 is available right now on the Music Mondays SoundCloud. That was curated by me. The cover art was done by me as well. So definitely go check that out. And huge shout out to everybody that did submit to SoundCloud Sunday Volume 220, man. Like I always say, we're climbing up there with the fucking SoundCloud Sundays, man. It's really, really getting stacked up there. So Volume 220 is available right now on the Music Money SoundCloud. So definitely go check that out and go show that some love. And like I said, huge shout out to everybody that did submit SoundCloud Sunday. And that takes us into, I believe, today, actually, January 5th, 2026. That is your weekly recap. That's pretty much everything major that you missed over the course of the last week or so here at Music Mondays. Let's fucking get it. We got Sam's Raps in the chat. Let's fucking go. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. New year, new stack 52 Mondays. Let's fucking get it. Exactly, my friend. Exactly. I'm excited. Definitely excited. 2026 is going to be solid, my friend. But, like I said, I hope everything's well. And welcome on in. So, we did weekly recap stuff. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. So, major updates. Obviously, Music Mondays award stuff is going on in the background. I'll have a little bit of an update later in the show before we dive into some reactions and reviews. So stay tuned for that. Outside of that, we're going to be working on our graphic refresh when it comes to our social media graphics. Obviously, the logo's staying the same, but we're just going to refresh everything like we do on a yearly basis. So you'll see some new TikTok templates. You'll see some new updated social media graphics for things like the podcast and promo and things like that. So that'll be a big thing that we're working on, especially heading into the new year. And then outside of that, I think we're going to be looking at Cyberfest 3 as well. So there's a whole lot of major things coming, but when it comes down to your monthly and weekly content, a lot of that will be staying the same. So the podcast, SoundCloud Sunday, playlists, articles, things like that, you can count on those to continue to be the same. And then, of course, your monthly content when it comes down to YouTube uploads, video interviews, monthly SoundCloud playlists, and things like that. So definitely count on those as well. But that's pretty much everything super major. First things first is the Music Mondays Awards, though. So keep your eyes peeled for some details on that. But that's pretty much everything major coming up over the course of the next week or so here at Music Mondays. Let's see here. A couple more things to dive into before we get into some reactions and reviews. So, one other thing, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for all of our Music Mondays staff roles. So if you're a writer, journalist, designer, curator, you want to do short form, you want to do long form content, you want to do any type of content for Music Mondays, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to have that conversation with you. Again, resume preferred, but not required. If you're kind of new to the underground independent media space and you want to get your feet wet, we'll be happy to teach you if you're new as well. So again, feel free to send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. And we do have a 2025 Music Mondays role guide where I kind of break down the Music Mondays staff roles in a little bit more detail. I talk about your content, your scheduling, and things like that. That is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, and we'll be updating that in the coming weeks for 2026. So I'll get a new guide up and kind of re-break down all the roles for those that aren't familiar and get a new one up for 2026. So that's definitely on the schedule as well. But again, Music Mondays is recruiting. Next thing is exclusives. So again, Music Mondays is on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. If you have any unreleased SoundCloud tracks that you like to have hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays SoundCloud and of course across all of our social media, or completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to get that hosted up for you. Again, we're only interested in unreleased content, so feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards. You want to go throw it up on all stores, you want to go do a music video for it, that's fine. We're only interested in the SoundCloud version. Same goes for YouTube as well. If you have an unreleased music video, AMV, lyric video, even if you just want some audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of over 300 subscribers for completely free, definitely let us know. Definitely send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. And again, we'd be happy to get that hosted up for you. We actually killed it in 2025 for exclusives. I think we dropped like, man, I want to say like at least 10. So I'm definitely trying to match that this year for sure. 100%. But again, definitely let us know if you'd like to have anything hosted on the Music Mondays SoundCloud or the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So that's recruiting, that's exclusives. I think one last thing we got to go over is some 2025 Music Mondays Awards updates. So let's get into it, my friends. I'm down. So the last thing that we spoke about was really finalizing dates and graphics. And now that that's pretty much done, and the nominations are pretty much ready to go, voting will open this Friday. So again, at the time of the show, obviously, January 5th, 2026, Voting and nominations will be public this Friday on January 9th, 2026. And then again, voting will be open for a straight week, so 7 days, and then voting will close on the 16th, and then on the 19th, we'll be hosting the 2025 Music Mondays Awards. So that'll be fun. That'll be really, really fun. Again, we have one more regular show, and then on the 19th, we'll be hosting the Music Mondays Awards in place of the regular show. Then we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming on the 26th. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. And then again, last thing we got to do is just finalize a few graphics, make sure that those are set and ready to go. Pre-dropped up all the polls and things like that, because those polls are like really specific, so you can't really mess up those polls. So that's definitely like a very tedious part of this for sure. But again, that's pretty much the big deal for this week and your major update when it comes down to the 2025 Music Mondays Awards. So again, voting and nominations will be live on January 9th. Voting will officially close on the 16th, and we'll be hosting the awards on the 19th of 2026 and this month. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that. Of course, we'll be announcing everything on socials, especially on Friday and heading into the weekend as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Make sure you follow us on social media to stay up to date. And then, of course, this will be uploaded on the Music Mondays YouTube channel for a little bit of an update. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We do upload 2 times per week, every single Thursday, every single Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. Excellent. Well done. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything super major, but I think with all that being said, we can dive into some reactions and reviews. So let's do it. Let's head over to Twitter and see what's popping over here for some submissions. I am down, my friends. I am down. Let's see. Okay. So let's go ahead over here and let's take a look. So per usual, submissions are always in the same format every single week, and they'll always read. Artist and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays live on January 5th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/ZonPlays, which is here and now. Again, the only thing that changes about this format is the date, so make sure you're submitting for a show that hasn't happened yet. Make sure you're not submitting late for the show and things like that, so just double check the date before you do submit. And then, of course, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So again, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to everything from, obviously, vocals, instrumentals, remixes, acoustic covers, photography, digital designs, merchandise, videography, music videos, vlogs, short form content, long form content. So again, if you're an underground independent creator and you feel like you deserve some spotlight here on the Music Mondays podcast, definitely feel free to drop your links and portfolios below every single Tuesday when submissions go live. Outside of that, we do have a 3-hour show limit just to keep the show a little bit more palatable to watch back. One could argue that a 3-hour show is still a little bit long, but again, compared to some of our earlier shows where, you know, we used to stack up to like 6-7 hours, that's definitely a lot more acceptable for sure. Definitely more acceptable, 100%. So again, just keep that in mind. We do have a 3-hour show limit, and again, we are one of the only live shows here on Twitch every single Monday. So we want to keep the show in at least top quality for all you guys, right? So again, outside of that, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following the Music Mondays Twitter page to be eligible. Again, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you do follow us on Twitter before you do submit. Again, that not only helps spread our message and grow our platform, right, but that, again, pays respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. And then again, you gain access to a wonderful wide range of very, very talented artists and creatives. So again, kind of a win-win, right? Outside of that, Patreon subscriber submissions will be played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, advanced, or premium, you gain access to a whole bunch of goodies over there on the Music Mondays Patreon. And one of those goodies is the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which again, for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon, allows for all of your submissions to be played first every single week here on the show before the rest of the communities. So again, kind of an advantage there. You're not only played at the height of viewership, but also when people go and watch the show back, you're one of the first submissions that people do see. And then, of course, it guarantees your submission to be played as well. Because again, sometimes we get upwards of like sometimes like 20, 25 submissions, right? And it's like really hard to fit all those into like a 3 hour show. So again, the Fast Pass allows you to guarantee all of your submissions get played, right? So again, huge shout out to all the Music Mondays patrons though. You guys are awesome. Outside of that, one last thing we do got to mention is submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. Again, just keep that in mind. A good rule of thumb is that if the show is already live, submissions are closed. Again, we are a live show, so we like to keep things free flow and make sure that we get to everybody's submissions promptly, right? So we want to make sure that we give everybody a fair shot. Again, you do have like 6.5 or so days to get your submissions in, so definitely plenty of time. So just keep that in mind. And again, submissions do go live every single Tuesday following the live show. So if you want to submit for next week's show, episode 259, submissions will be live tomorrow, January 6th. So outside of that, that's pretty much everything major that you got to know about the Music Mondays podcast. We do have a how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide over there on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, where I kind of break down the lore of the Music Mondays podcast, why we take submissions on Twitter, how the idea of the podcast even came about, and things like that. So again, definitely go check that out and go show that some love if you're interested. Again, we'll be updating that for 2026 as well. That's another one of those where I kind of want to rehash that and kind of go over it for anybody that is unfamiliar with that video for sure. But again, that's pretty much everything major. So let's see here. How many patrons we have tonight? We'll kick off with all of our patrons, and then we'll dive into the community. So we have the homie Jordan. We got TDG. And then we got, let's see. So we got the homie Ghost as well. So we have 3 patrons tonight stacked up. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. We got the homie 3 in the chat. Let's get it, baby. What's cracking, my friend? Happy Monday. Welcome on in. Let's fucking get it. So let's get into it, my friends. I'm down. So we're going to kick off with the homie Jordan, a very, very talented multi-genre producer and artist. Came through with a track titled Valentine. Now, Jordan had a really strong end of 2025. So I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to take that momentum into 2026. So I'm definitely excited to see what Jordan has to kick off the first 2026 episode of the Music Mondays podcast. So 10 hours ago, brand new. Not dropping for a while, I don't think. Written and produced by Jordan. Coming soon. W description. Simple, straight to the point. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Jordan, Valentine, let's go. I'm excited to show this one. Let's get it, TDG. I'm down. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's go. Much love, my friend.
Yeah, see, you never know. I was skipping episodes, lost days with no other room. Can't tell you where my head was stuck. Days went by with songs I wrote. It's either that I check my phone. Hey, you look familiar, turn to see you there. You never know. See you all the time. You watch me trip and fall sometimes. I can't make this up. The missing pieces always hard to find. See you when you're home. See you all the time. See you never know. See you all the time. Missing pieces always hard to find.
Wow. The guitar is crazy, bro. Crazy outro. Well done. Well done. You know, Jordan is really proving like their artistic ability when it comes down to being unique and ever since they got this guitar, I just felt like they've just went in this insane direction that's just like you can just tell it's so pure and like not only they enjoying it and having fun with it, right? But you can tell from like an artistic point of view that there's that spark when they're making tracks like this. Um, but few things to talk about. So let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Valentine. Relatively obvious theme, but we're still going to break it down per usual. Instrumental, produced by Jordan. Like I said, the melody fucking shines here, and it has like a good like fast pace, like alt rock, like alt pop sort of flavor here. And I think Jordan fucking nailed it. When it comes down to that sort of sound and style. But the mix is solid. The mix is solid, especially like the intro and outro, and the drums work well. Sound selection's nice. I have no real gripes with the melody at all. You know what I mean? So everything sounds solid in terms of like levels and quality there too. So no real gripes. Not really a shocker there. Jordan's had a very consistent mix, especially when it comes down to the instrumentals. So, like I said, not really a shocker, but something you always want to point out for anybody new here, right? So, instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. This one's tough, right? Because I like the structure a lot. I think the structure is like one of the really strong parts of this instrumental for sure. Um, but the melody, man, just really brings the mood, that good like summer love kind of mood that I feel like Jordan was going for. Um, yeah, it's kind of hard to not say melody. So let's go melody. I feel like melody really brought the mood here. So instrumental solid, definitely melody. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. Again, a little bit of a variety here in the mix, but I feel like Jordan does a good job with it. And they're still finding their footing when it comes down to their mix with this type of style, right? Because, with certain types of instrumentals, as we all know, mixing can be extremely easy, or if you're going the real, like, live instrument based instrumental mix, it can be a little bit tough, right? So again, you could tell that Jordan's still finding their footing, but also there's no real loss of quality or anything like that. Levels are good, everything's solid. Um, Again, it takes a while to like kind of like find your groove in certain styles, and Jordan's really just trucking along, and I feel like they're doing a really good job doing it. So vocal mix solid. I like it for where it's at for sure. Vocal shining star. That's the question. Um, I do like the flow and cadence and delivery of it all. I feel like it really kept up pace with the instrumental, which I think is nice. Um, Writing's up there too, for sure. But I feel like the flow and cadence and delivery kind of brought this all together, especially with the instrumental, and you really consider that. I'm gonna go flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Again, simple but straight to the point. I love, love, love this cover. Um, Especially when it comes down to like emotional romance, more love style. I feel like covers like these really fucking rock. And then just putting the heart there kind of like makes it almost like a little bit more like what's the word? A little bit more ambient almost. You know what I mean? It feels very ambient. So aesthetics definitely on point, especially for a single, 100%. Overall theme, Valentine. Again, a relatively obvious theme. We all have our different like perspectives of love and like whether you're like currently in love or talking about a past love or sometimes you're talking about a future love. It really does bring that good romantic feel, and it's not in like a corny way. You know what I mean? Because like, well, I mean, it can't really be corny if you're honest, right? But it depends on how you frame it. And I feel like Jordan did a really good job kind of making you feel the emotion, but not like too much. There's always like a good sweet spot here. And I feel like Jordan fucking nailed it. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge, huge shout out to homie Jordan. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Jordan on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only 10 followers away from 100. It's a W milestone. And go follow Jordan on Twitter as well. They're only 4 followers away from 420. Also a W milestone there. The chorus every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers, man. We do upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you guys show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. And if you already have, thank you. You guys are wonderful. Much love. So, we left off with the homie Jordan. That was our first Patreon of the night. Our second Patreon of the night is the homie TDG, aka Tilla Grave, a very, very talented hip-hop artist, but now multi-genre artist as well. Came through with a track on SoundCloud, Everything All at Once, EP coming soon, Outside the Box, based on a theory I created, the Everything All at Once concept. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so we're about to dive into some mind tricks here. Okay. Hold on. Let's see here. So 5 hours ago, brand spanking new, based on a theory I created, Everything All at Once concept. I like it. I assume Prod TDG as well, right? They've been doing a lot of their production as of recently. So, all right. Let's get into it. TDG, Everything All at Once. Let's go.
I've been noticing it lately. See everything all at once. Life grows, the universe expands, and I go with it. Same body, different reality. Sometimes I leave my mind and I see other things, other places. Do I even believe it? Yeah, chasing dragons, a fix I need to make it happen. This is something I can't imagine. Comfortably numb, but still not relaxing. Complain about the fate, really ain't my reaction. Me versus me, harder than the fucking Kraken. Moment missed it, floated away past it. Illusions, confusions, mental disbelief in magic. What I really wanted is all tricks. Moment away, I live my mind, but really need to focus. Ignored, I notice my tendencies to hurt me. I know this motion, going back and forth. Take a second, think about it. Ask it. Missing pieces, puzzle incomplete, and shadows never leaving. Life is up to you. What about the mean? Time pays the bill, but the split ain't even. What?
Wow. Wow.
Inner circles, I'm in between them. Every thought, get caught up, what is the meaning? Most times don't even mean it. Getting low, self-pleasement. Sugar highs got me cheeseless. Thoughts after thoughts, no second between it. Thought I knew the reason, but my sickness brought grieveness. Me and me made an agreement. Can't see the light, if I do, I might not continue life. Yeah, me and me made an agreement. Only I believe it. Everything all at once, that's what I'm seeing. Chasing dragons, a fix I need to make it happen. This is something I can't imagine. Comfortably numb, still not relaxing. Plain about the fate, really ain't my reaction. Plain about the fate, really ain't my reaction. Chasing dragons, a fix I need to make it happen. This is something I can't imagine. Comfortably numb, still not relaxing. Plain about the fate, really ain't my reaction.
Wow. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. So, the thing with this one here is it's so mature sounding, especially like the first half is very impressive. Like it sounds like such a mature TDG artistically, just very mature. The delivery's like super confident, the flow and cadence is like very comfortable. Like this is a very like mature track in terms of those kind of aspects, right? So, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Everything All at Once. So, instrumental. I mean, the sample is fucking amazing. It's very well utilized as well. Because it's not like such a main part of the song as to where it makes it like distracting, but I feel like the sample is very well utilized. Drums, simple, bouncy, effective. Love the sound selection. Quality is very good as well. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would like really gripe about on this. Again, this is another artist, not really a shocker. TDG has a very, very consistent mix when it comes down to their production. Um, and no matter the style either, right? Like, I mean, we've reacted to so many styles of instrumentals from TDG over the last, couple of months. So, yeah, very consistent across all styles for sure. Co-produced by me, drums and overall mixed by me, melody by my homie. Love that, love that. Shout out the homie. Shout out the fucking homie. But yeah, fantastic. Mix is great. Like I said, nothing super clashy, too overbearing, or anything that I would like kind of tweak out about. Um, Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, though, um, this one's kind of tough, right? Because the melody's up there, but I feel like the drums really bring a snap and kind of bounce to this song that I think it needed. Um, Especially the snare. For some reason, I feel like the snare brings like a very, very like just good snap that this song needed. So I think for this one, I'm gonna go drums. But I feel like you could argue melody or structure too. But I think for this one, we'll go drums for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, fantastic. I feel like the mix definitely has a part in TDG sounding so mature on this track. Obviously, not all of it, but quality's good, levels are good. Nothing that I would like ultimately switch up on this one either. Again, TDG blends well with the beat. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. So nothing I would like really gripe about on this. Definitely not. Again, TDG is another artist that has had a very consistent vocal mix, especially over the last like couple of months or so. So vocal solid, vocal shining star. Now, this is where it gets interesting because you definitely could say writing and lyrics for sure. I feel like you definitely could say writing and lyrics on this, but the flow and cadence and delivery is just so mature sounding that like you almost have to say that, right? I do like the writing and lyrics though, but I think flow and cadence and delivery is really going to take the cake here for me, for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Crazy, crazy fucking cover here. I love covers like this, especially like just like the Notebook sort of style, right? And it's just like very simple, but again, so much detail. And again, one of those covers where the more you look at it, the more detail you do see, right? But again, it's simple, straight to the point, everything all at once. Kind of does have that feeling for sure. And then TDG at the top middle. So like it, great first single, and straight to the point, right? Overall theme, everything all at once. I mean, realistically, right? Based on a theory I created, the everything all at once concept. And I think TDG explains it a little bit more here too, especially in the lyrics. It's not just me, it's we. It's not just you. It is all outside the box. Nothing as it seems, as reality is endless, connected and everywhere. Yeah, so it's a very insane kind of theory in terms of like really laying it out, but it's really not if you think about it, right? Because like everything really is happening all at once, So when you really like go to break it all down like that, you start to think about shit differently, So this is a very like deep topic, you know what I mean? I feel like this is one where you could like break down the theme of this track for like 30 minutes for sure. This is one of those ones that like goes super super deep. So I think TDG did a really good job kind of making the listener think a little bit, but also kind of show off what they can do as an artist, right? Especially like with how mature they sound. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to TDG. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, by the way. They're approaching 1.1K over there in the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're approaching 160 over there on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love on Twitter. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channels some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. So, well done. A really strong start to the night. I feel like that's been happening recently a lot. Like the last month or so, the shows have just been very strong for sure. But our last and certainly not least patron of the night, the homie Ghost, a multi-genre talented producer, came through with an unreleased instrumental. UK Underground EPB 152 BPM Cobra Diamond. Shout out Diamond. Again, Ghost, another artist and creative here that has had an insane amount of consistency, but also their variety has been insane. You know, this is one thing I talk about with Ghost is that we've pretty much gotten the chance to react to almost every genre. You know what I mean? Like, with the exception of a few, but Ghost has a very deep bag when it comes down to their variety, right? So let's pop this open in a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Got a little Dropbox link per usual. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. UK Underground EPB 152 BPM Cobra Diamond unreleased Ghost instrumental. Let's do it.
Diamond with you. Is that Ghost on the beat?
Love that tag. Damn. That drop is crazy. Spoinky. I agree, though. I agree. Whoa. Sample is crazy. Damn. You're a ball knower? Let's fucking get it, baby. Yeah, the hats are very subtle. I agree. They are very, very subtle. Oh, I love a fade out. A fade out, it's money. That is money right there. Well done. Clocking in at 425 as well. Um, wow. Wow. It does bring that good, like, UK dark trap, underground drill sort of flavor, but also it does have that ghost kind of spin on it, right? So, um, we're gonna talk about two things because obviously no vocals, right? We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of this instrumental. So, instrumental mix. I mean, nothing to really gripe about whatsoever. Ghost, again, much like the artist that we've already seen here tonight, has a very, and I mean very consistent mix. It's very, very rare, and I can't even recall a time where I had any gripes with a Ghost mix, especially when it comes down to their instrumentals, right? Full songs and things like that, that's, again, unreleased demos. I'm not talking about any of that. Just strictly speaking on the instrumental, again, a very consistent instrumental mix, for sure. So, instrumental mix, again, like I said, fantastic. Levels were good, quality's great, sound selection was awesome, structure was good. Nothing that I would really tweak out about here. Definitely not. Even the sample was well utilized, right? So, yeah, no gripes with the instrumental mix. Definitely not. Definitely not. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, you could really argue a few things here. I'm not gonna lie. You could really argue a few things here. Because, personally, I'm a fan of the structure. I like the structure. The drums are up there. Sound selection's great. The sample is definitely up there. And then the melody's great. It has this, like, spooky, mysterious, almost like X-Files type of vibe, right? So melody you could argue there too. But shit, this one really is tough though. Although I feel like the structure, again, as like standard as it is, I love it. It just makes the instrumental tell a story. It's interesting. And I think for that reason, I think I'm gonna go with structure on this. Even though I do feel like the drums are up there. I feel like the drums you could definitely argue, especially the 808's pretty fucking crazy too. But I'm gonna go with structure on this one. Especially the fade out was great. It's just telling a story instantly right off the bat. So definitely structure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk theme. Obviously unreleased, so no aesthetics yet. But again, like I said, I feel like Ghost definitely nailed that good like UK underground, dark trap, UK drill sort of flavor, right? Even like early drill too, like early like Chicago drill, or even definitely has like a little bit of like a New York flavor too. So it depends, but I feel like Ghost definitely like put their own sauce on it and made it like very, very unique. So, and like again, this sample is so well utilized because it's very easy to like overuse a sample like that because it is sick. But I feel like Ghost did a really good job with it. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost. Thank you so much for the submission. Thank you. Make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter as well. Ghost is 2 followers away from 540, so make sure you go show him some love on the bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show the channel, and these are some love, baby. Let's get it. And that does conclude all of our Music Mondays Patreons for the night. So huge shout out to the homie Jordan, TDG, and the homie Ghost. You guys are fucking wonderful. And the rest of our Music Mondays Patreon crew over there. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So, let's dive into the rest of our community submissions. I'm down. Let's get into it. First, we're going to kick off with the homie Flux. Now, Flux has made a recent return with vocals and basically going back to being a full-time artist. And which I thought that was great. I feel like that was fucking a really solid move. And they're definitely going to still dive into the production side of things per usual. But lately they've been focusing more on vocals and kind of going that route with things, which I thought was really awesome. But this week we have a brand new track from Homie Flux, actually titled Oath. I definitely would love to hear what you think about the track that I drop on New Year's Eve, brother. I got you, my friend. Let's fucking go. Thank you for the submission, Flux. Much love, my friend. Okay, so New Year's Eve too. Man, I can't believe New Year's Eve was last week, eh? Well, let's see here. So 4 days ago, brand spanking new. Love the cover as well. Love the cover actually. Like really solid, comfortable winter vibe here for sure. But let's get into it. I'm down. Flux, Oath. Let's go. Wow. Wow.
You're listening to Vigad. Exclusive.
Wow. Jesus. Talk about feeling emotion. Holy shit, this is dope. I agree, 3. I agree. My god. Um very emotional. Very heavy track, but very like poetic and very like vivid. It's very easy to visualize this track for some reason. I don't know if the cover's helping with that or what, but you can definitely visualize this track very, very easily. Um but well done. This was fucking nuts. My god. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Oath. Instrumental. Love the choice for Flux. It almost sounds like Flux production, but it definitely has a little bit of a different spin on it. But I do love the choice for the instrumental. But the mix is really solid. Like really, really solid, especially the kick. Like the kick comes to mind and it just hits perfectly. Sound selection is great, structure's great. Nothing that really kind of tweaks me out on this one at all, to be honest with you. I feel like the mix is like very, very solid. So nothing super clashy, too overbearing either, right? So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. I might say drums, I won't lie. But the melody's up there. Structure's up there too. But I feel like we got to go drums on this one. The patterns are great. Sound selection is great. The kick sticks out so well. Yeah, we got to go drums on this. For sure, we got to go drums on this. The instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. I love Flux's mix on this. It's so gritty, but still like, high quality. Levels are solid. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. So nothing that like really bugs me out on this, but it keeps its like gritty, emotional flavor. right? And Flux is just continuing to improve that style. So I think this mix is definitely up there for sure. So vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star on the other hand. Writing, I really like writing. Writing and lyrics are very, very poetic. It's easy to visualize. But you could also say the hook, right? Or what I originally was gonna say, to be completely honest with you, was flow and cadence and delivery. I feel like the flow and cadence and delivery on this one was fantastic, especially in the hook. It kind of like amplifies the hook even more. So yeah, let's go flow and cadence and delivery on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme aesthetics. Love IRL covers like this. Obviously Winter, very aesthetically pleasing when it comes down to shots like this. Then the very simple oath in the middle is just solid for a song like this, right? Because songs like this are very like emotional. And you don't really want to take away too much from the track itself and make things, distracting, or sometimes other songs just really call for very simple, chill kind of covers, right? But I think Flux did a really good job with this. Simple, straight to the point, but also captures like the heaviness of the song, you know? So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, Oath. You could really take this a couple different ways. Um, taking an oath in love, taking an oath in life, and kind of like committing to your rights and your wrongs, right? I feel like Flux touches on a lot of this. And again, much like a few submissions ago, this is one where it proves that in music and in writing, you can kind of express emotions and feelings in ways that normally you wouldn't be able to, right? And I feel like Flux is kind of like ripping the feelings out and putting things into words that, the average person really couldn't or doesn't really try hard enough to, or X, Y, or Z, right? So this is one where, again, you could take this a couple different ways, but I feel like Flux is definitely like bringing out the emotion in the listener and themselves. You know what I mean? So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Homie Flux. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Flux, by the way, on SoundCloud. They're only 3 followers away from 640. So make sure you go show them some love there in the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow Flux on Twitter as well. They're approaching 2.4K on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all the good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, we left off with the homie Flux. W submission there. That was fucking crazy. Up next is the homie Sam's Raps, a very, very talented hip hop artist. Had a stellar 2025, and we're kicking off with a unreleased track here, a little off the cuff, 16 demo, prod by the homie Clever Dan Music. Huge shout out to Clever Dan. Let's see here. So we got a little unreleased again. I'm down, bitch. I'm hot as shit. Insane title here. Okay, let's see here. 4 hours ago. Brand spanking new. Let's get into it. Unreleased. Sam's Raps with the homie Clever Dan. Let's go.
Like a leather car seat headrest. Can't cool me down. Hot like your food out the oven, gotta blow me. Just to put me in your mouth. Hot like I'm never gonna need that bed rest. I'm too hot right now. Hot, I might even melt myself, bitch. Hotter than hot, bitch, I'm hotter than guy. You need a reminder, just rewind the song. Been scheming and flying and planning so long, I done seen every angle like tracing an arc. Tracing an arc, but I stop at the top. Kinda feel wrong to go farther than right. Acutely aware of the do so obtuse. If you put us together, we restart a line. Put us together like supplement pills, or a guy in 2 jobs trying to supplement bills. His punishment done him and wondering, stuck with this stuff to take bucket. Let's cup the cup, bust the kids, fucking illustrious. 1% coxation, fuck with me, government, bitch, I am hot as shit.
Oh my. What the fuck? Holy shit. Okay. All right. All right. Little off the cuff 16 demo. Little off the cuff. That was nuts. Holy shit. Especially the end was crazy too. Oh man. Oh man. All right. All right. We got to break it down. We got to talk about it. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about three things here. Obviously, with this being a demo in mind. So, we're going to talk about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals. We're going to talk about the overall theme of Bitch, I'm Hot as Shit. Instrumental. Again, prod by the homie Clever Dan. So, this is a prod I don't think we've seen Sam's Raps work with, at least here on the show. Right? But I could see why these two gel together, especially with that like almost jazzy, laid back sort of vibe here. I feel like Dan did a really, really good job, and I can see why Sam's was like, okay, like I could slide on this for sure. So, but let's talk mix, instrumental mix. Again, with this being a demo in mind, I like it. You know what I mean? I like it. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, simple, straight to the point, but the melody is like still front and center. Sam sounds really great on it as well. And again, with it just being a demo, I still like it for where it's at, you know? Still like very, very listenable. You know what I mean? So, especially in terms of quality, right? So, instrumental mix definitely solid. Instrumental shining star. Gotta be the melody. The melody brings that mood, you know, that underground, you know, like underground bar, shooting pool, jazzy sort of feel, right? Almost like a noir kind of feeling. But yeah, you definitely got to go melody here. You definitely got to go melody for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Let's talk vocals. Again, a vocal mix, even with it being a demo, crisp, clean, clear, quality was solid. Of course, Sam's is going to clean it up whenever they decide to eventually release this and finish it, right? But even then, with this being just a demo, no gripes. You know what I mean? Especially in terms of like levels of quality. Definitely no gripes at all. No way, man. So, vocal mix solid, especially for a demo, right? Vocal shining star. Writing was up there for sure, but the flow and cadence and delivery was nuts. Like, really nuts. Really, really nuts. And I agree, 100% I agree. But the flow and cadence and delivery has to take the cake here. If you don't say flow and cadence and delivery on this one, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. So you definitely gotta go flow and cadence and delivery here, 100%. You could argue writing and lyrics too, but I think flow and cadence and delivery for sure takes the cake. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So obviously unreleased, temporary cover here, but I do like this like far away shot and that fucking insane building in the background, bro. Like this definitely could be like a really solid single cover. You know, you throw like a parental advisory on it or something. It would actually be pretty hard, but obviously cover art to be decided, right? Overall theme, bitch, I'm hot as shit. Relatively simple theme, right? I feel like Sam's Raps was really flexing their artist muscles here on this one and really showing what they could do, especially with the flow and cadence delivery. It was just insane, just fucking insane, and you're just like, holy shit. You know what I mean? So again, one of those ones that you'd want to spin back when it releases for sure, just so you can soak up all of the lyricism and talent that Sam's Raps has on this one for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Sam's Raps. And make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're approaching 1.2K on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Money's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We'll upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on that channel. So make sure you show these artists and the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friend. So, we're about halfway through the show, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to need all you guys to get up, go stretch your legs, go get some water, go walk the dog, possibly go for a smoke break, maybe take a bathroom break or anything like that. And when we return, we're going to dive right back into the rest of our community submissions. So don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 258. Hope you had a good break. Hope you're chilling. But let's get back into some community reviews. So, let's see here. We left off with the homie Sam's Raps. Up next would be the homie Jordan, but we already reacted to Jordan earlier in the show because they are currently a Music Mondays Patreon. So, huge shout out to the homie Jordan. And definitely check out the beginning of episode 258. Up next is the homie 3 the Real, aka 3, aka Therial, come through with a track titled Shoulda Coulda Woulda. I actually like that title, holy shit. A little late to the party, but we're running up all year for 2026. I'm really excited to hear your take on this one, Z. I'm down. Now, of course, 3 being a very talented multi-genre artist, came through with a brand new track that dropped on the 3rd. Quite literally brand spanking new. Excellent. Okay. That's huge. Literally 2 days ago. Like, 2 fucking days ago. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, the trifecta version. Okay, I'm down. Let's get into it.
Everybody got me on my hand. We be talking like I really give a damn. Sweaty fuck on these dirty like dishes. That's why I run around them, nigga, where they stand.
Everybody told me that I couldn't. I turned around and told them that I can. Then they went and told me that I shouldn't. Stop my feet, yeah, I stand on 10. Everybody got their own opinion. They be talking like I really give a damn. Many folk will do you dirty like the dishes. That's why I run around them, even where they stand. Oh no, though. They be standing making faces for the photos. They ain't standing on business, that's a no-go. They be flipping like they squinting on a moto. Oh no, yo, they be switching like they playing Nintendo. Still I bless them when I'm stepping on a tempo. Pop up, got the Mori Momento. Kill 'em all, that's a Mori Momento. Dance to it, I ain't talking flamenco.
Wow.
Feel the rhythm as it seeps into them bones. Stop your feet, Jim, I'm feeling so simple. Tell me that you hear me, tell me this a tempo. Just vibe with a player, let your stress go. Ease your mind with a player, let the rest go. Get it poppin' like you know this in a pimpo. Everybody told me that I couldn't. I turned around and told them that I can. Then they went and told me that I shouldn't. Stop my feet, yeah, I stand on 10. Everybody got their own opinion. They be talking like I really give a damn. Many folk will do you dirty like the dishes. That's why I run around them, even where they stand. They ain't stand on nothing, they ain't really want to smoke. Man, the man stay blunted. Stand so tall that the man Paul Bunyan grab my shorty by the waist and we lead a damn function. I ain't worried about it anyway. Them a bunch of damn mini-mays. I'm about to pop like any day. Survival of the fittest. I've been fit to get it anyway. Feeling myself. Do the same for a second. Take a moment
What
for yourself.
the
Bounce
fuck?
to the damn record. I be spreading out the wealth, dog. I'm handing out blessings. Give it to yourself. I'ma call you to heaven. Love's what you got, then love's what you get. The energy you putting out, a circle back and spin. No enemies for me. I live the truth. I don't pretend. They shot what they shot, and that shot done miss. Everybody told me that I couldn't. I turned around and told them that I can. Then they went and told me that I shouldn't. Stop my feet, yeah, I stand on 10. Everybody got their own opinion. They be talking like I really give a damn. Many folk will do you dirty like the dishes. That's why I run around them, even where they stand. I'm solid. I've been standing on 10 toes. I took losses, but to win what I sent home, kids gossip. You can listen in like a friend spoke. I get knowledge, then I make gold out of brimstone. That's out for me. I heard all the second guessing and the apathy. Folks I once called fam heavy doubting me. I know they all still praying for the atrophy. They won't see it though. They hay in the stack, I'm the needle, yo. I was pressing on the pedal and the needle broke. I just started heating up. You think the fever broke? Everybody told me that I couldn't.
What the
I turned around and
fuck?
told them that I can. Then they went and told me that I shouldn't. Stop my feet, yeah, I stand on 10. Everybody got their own opinion. They be talking like I really give a damn. Many folk will do you dirty like the dishes. That's why I run around them, even where they stand.
Wow. That one is insane. It has such a high energy that it's hard not to want to move to a track like that. It just has such high energy. Well done. That's a crazy way to start off the year. Like, holy shit. Just got back. Let's fucking get it. Totally new shit was different. It is definitely different, for sure. Want to make a dance for it? Dude, that'd be so crazy. That'd be so sick. But yeah, so fun, so bouncy. It has like a good, just positive vibe without, again, like I said earlier, kind of being like overly positive, right? It has a good like get up and go sort of vibe, but also addressing like the negatives in a good way, So there's a lot to kind of dissect about this. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're talking about the overall theme of Shoulda Coulda Woulda. Great title as well, especially now that we've heard the song. Like the title kind of makes even more sense now, right? But let's talk instrumental. So the instrumental is a big part of this track's energy. You know, it's fast paced, it's bouncy, it's fun, but it's not like too bubbly. You know, it hits that like nice sweet spot of just like it almost reminds you of like a theme song as well, right? But either way, it makes you want to like get up and go, right? So love the instrumental, love the choice. Instrumental mix though is fantastic. Nothing clashing or overbearing or um nothing that even really like tweaks me out in the slightest. To be honest with you, especially for like a high energy like fast paced instrumental like this. Sometimes shit can get weird, but no, I definitely feel like the instrumental mix is like very much on point, 100%. Nothing that really like stuck out to me that I would change. You know what I mean? Um, Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand, mm, gotta be the drums, right? I feel like the melody's up there for the energy, but drums are up there too, though. I won't lie. And the drums, though, the drums just keep up the pace so well and they're so bouncy. I think we're gonna go with drums on this one. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Also the structure though, the structure's up there too. Yeah, let's go drums. Let's go drums. So instrumental solid, definitely drums for sure. Makes me think of like Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah, facts with cereal and the dancing psychedelic anime girls. Yeah, literally. Yeah, no, it does have that like anime opening kind of feel to it. Nostalgia. Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It really does have that good like anime opening or even an outro as well. For sure. For sure. For a time that never existed, right? That Jersey Clubhouse mix. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's just like bouncy and fun, you know? Um, so instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Fuck vocals. Vocal mix is actually fantastic. I actually really like this vocal mix. Um, it adds a bit of like seriousness to the track, right? Because I feel like if the vocal mix was like kind of leaning towards a more like melodic style, it would give a different vibe to the song. But once three comes on the track, it makes you take the song a little bit more serious, you know, because the instrumental's so fun and bouncy. I feel like the dynamic of the two is really solid. And I think part of that is because of the vocal mix, right? I feel like the vocal mix is gritty, clean, crisp, clear, straight to the point. Levels are good. Uh, Drums cut through nicely. I mean, it brings a good balance to an instrumental like this. You know what I mean? It brings a really good balance. So you take it more serious once the vocals come on, but it doesn't take away the like bouncy, like fun parts about it, you know? So it's a good dynamic for sure. Um, the vocal mix very much on point. Vocal Shining Star. Uh, hmm, damn. So writing's up there. Blown Canes and Delivery, I think, is like the clear winner here. You know what I mean? Like, I think Flow and Canes and Delivery really brought a lot of the bounce out of the instrumental as well. So I think outside of writing and lyrics, I think Flow and Canes and Delivery takes the cake on this one. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the Flow and Canes and Delivery. Let's talk theme. I appreciate you. Yeah, of course. No, I appreciate you, my friend. Let's fucking get it. Let's fucking get it. Night of Beef. The people I used to throw shows with at the beginning of last year. Oh, a song is me letting go and started to be positive. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's right. That's right. We got Say Wave in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Welcome. Had a bunch more people come at me after when I'm breaking the sentiment. But getting up, not tearing another cat. Yeah, no, exactly. Like sometimes beefs are just, you know, sometimes you just gotta cut the cord. For sure. I know what you mean, definitely. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know. Sometimes you just gotta let lion dogs lie sometimes. You know, depending on the situation or how you feel about it at the end of the day, right? Well, let's talk theme. And I feel like, you know, 3 kind of came through with a really like solid theme here. I won't lie, actually like kind of discussing it in the chat now, but let's talk aesthetics. So, I love this cover for a few reasons. The colors match the sort of bounce and flavor that this instrumental gives, and the song itself, right? But I love how the more you look at it, you can actually like decipher what it is, but it's so deep fried and glitched that it almost turns into like a whole new meaning, right? So aesthetics, especially for a single, I really really love. I feel like it matches the sound well, but it's very eye catching. You know what I mean? So aesthetics definitely on point for sure, 100%. Back outside and shit. Let's get a sandwich. Let's go, man. There's a bridge in my city. It's called Graffiti Bridge. Yeah, see, that's what I liked about it is like you could kind of like decipher like the road below it, right? And like the bridge itself. So I feel like I really liked it for that reason. Smiley face is a piece of graffiti from the back of the little punk venue you used to play at. Oh wait, that's hard then. That's super hard. So we got a little bit of lore in the aesthetics here. I like that. I like that. Overall theme, I mean, 3 really just kind of explained it there pretty well in the chat, but you know, realistically, shoulda, coulda, woulda is a very good way to describe a lot of conflicts and beefs and things in life, right? Because sometimes when you're going at, you know, a problem with people or you have a problem with somebody or, you know, it's different for every situation, but sometimes you got to roll it back and just let situations kind of be, you know, just really just let it go because certain things aren't resolvable in that moment. So sometimes you got to let it, you know, let it go and just do its thing naturally. And then other times, you know, you just need time. So, you know, there's a lot of ways that you could take a track like this for sure. But I feel like 3 did a really good job kind of summarizing that in chat, but also the title makes like a lot more sense now, right? Because especially with like those beefs that aren't that serious, but they get serious, it's always like shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I mean? Like, especially if it's people that like you don't necessarily like have a deep relationship with. You know, like maybe if you do have a deep relationship with them, it's a little bit different. But if you don't, it's a little bit easier to kind of just chalk it up to a shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, so it's different for everybody in every situation. But you know, I was tight with these folks. Yeah, see, like that. That's what like sucks about it. You know, that's what like sucks about it. So, yeah, I think 3 did a really good job, kind of explaining that from their end for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie 3. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, by the way, and make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They are 4 followers away from 370. So make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. I played Blase Blah for you. That's the preceding this. No, I don't think so. Wait, did we? And you're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for your submission, of course. Much love. That was fantastic. For sure. I'll submit it next week. Yeah, no, I definitely don't think we have. Yeah, not for sure. I'm down. Absolutely. See, because now we need the full story and the full picture now. But up next would be the homie TDG, but TDG's a Music Mondays Patreon, and we already reacted to TDG earlier in the show, so make sure you go check out TDG's submission at the beginning of tonight's episode, 258. Let's see here. Okay, up next is the homie Brayden, a multi-genre talented artist and now producer, as came through with track number 4 off of their recent project, and it's titled Sweet and Mild. Track number 4, I'm down. This project has been Brayden's most mature project to date, at least in my opinion, in terms of like their delivery, their writing, their hooks, their sound. Everything is just so mature, and you can really see the progress here. So I'm excited to dive back in, man, for sure. So we're gonna pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. Brand spanking new, track number 4, Sweet and Mild. My favorite from you ever. That's good gas. Favorite so far. That's also very good gas. Okay, bet. All right, let's get into it. Sweet and Mild. Brayden, let's go. Okay. Holy shit. Wow. See, that's one of the ones where you gotta let it like heat up. You know what I mean? Like, so if you're like one of those people who only listens to like 20 seconds of a song and skips it, you just can't do that. You know what I mean? You just can't do that because this is one of those ones where you just gotta let it like heat up a bit, and then you're like, okay, and then Braden really starts going. You know what I mean? Like really starts going. So, um, well done though, absolutely well done. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Sweet and Mild. So, instrumental. I love the choice. It's a very Braden style instrumental, especially with like the insane bass in there. I feel like it's just a Braden type beat for sure. So for one, I like the choice. Um, let's see here. Now, instrumental mix, especially with it being as muddy as it is, it's still very crisp and clear. You know what I mean? Like I definitely don't have any gripes when it comes down to the mix on this one. Um, and again, especially with it being such a distorted instrumental, right? I feel like it's really solid. It's not even that distorted really, but it does have that mud to it. But I feel like the mix is solid. Definitely, 100%. No real gripes with that at all, you know. So instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. Uh mm, I do like the structure. I feel like the bass is up there. I mean, the drums in general, I think are going to take the cake here. You could argue structure, but I think the drums just play such a major role here that you just have to go with drums for sure. So, um, instrumental solid, definitely drums, absolutely. But let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, a very mature, crisp, clear sounding Braden. It's just something about their delivery or just their overall mix, or maybe they've gotten more comfortable in the booth and how they record. It could be your posture. It could be so many small things that just like make artists like sound infinitely better. Because Braden already had a really solid mix, but now they're just like improving on top of that. You know what I mean? So, vocal mix for this one, crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point. Like I said, nothing super classy or anything that I would like really tweak out about on this one. Definitely not. Definitely not. Vocal shining star, on the other hand. I was gonna say writing and lyrics for sure. I was right, but I think flow and cadence and delivery are gonna take the cake here again. Braden's just really flowing so comfortably and so loose that you can just tell that they're just in the zone. Like they're in that type of mode. So, flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Again, for the last few tracks that I've reacted to this for, I really enjoy this cover. 100%. Sometimes the IRL covers always go really well with certain things, but the fact that Braden kind of like had like the light like peeling through the window, and then it has like that blue vibe that they've had for a lot of their recent releases. I feel like it just goes with their recent aesthetics really well, and it definitely has a good project vibe to it for sure. So aesthetics absolutely on point, definitely, especially for the window. I don't know why, something about that window, man. um but overall theme, Sweet and Mild, a very like, I don't want to say like braggadocious kind of song, but it's a very like fuck you and like I don't care kind of song, in a really good way, because like you really should not really care about what other people think about you, and like the people that have wronged you, you know, like putting a lot of effort and time into that type of shit is just not worth it. But Braden speaks about a few different angles of that, but also kind of like, you know, really like proving that you know, you just really have to do what you want and not only be yourself, right? But also you know, stay true to yourself, I would say. That's definitely a good way to put it. But again, another one where you could really just smoke and chill to this type of song too, you know? But if you really want to break it down, Braden definitely dives in on this one for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Braden. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud, by the way. They're only 2 followers away from 390. And make sure you go follow Braden on Twitter as well. They're only 8 followers away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, we left off with the homie Braden. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious, a multi-talented producer, designer, engineer, editor, writer, all the above, has came through the brand new YouTube upload titled I Really Love You. Now, this is a brand new YouTube upload, and recently, Offspring's submissions have been fucking insane when it comes down to their concepts, their editing, and everything that they're doing for Walking on Sloth has been really solid. So, I'm down. Let's pop it open in a new tab. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let's get into it. Let's go a little 720. Here we go, full volume. W description. Yeah, that is a W description, actually. Holy shit. That's good. All right, let's get into it. Offspring is serious. I really love you. Let's go. That gamer rage. The headphone. What can I say? The game is always cheating. Well, welcome on in, Offspring. Hope you're well. Happy Monday, my friend. Let's fucking get it, baby. W transition. Oh, I get it. Instantly into the love song. I like it. That's so real. Oh. Perfect. W transition there too. Great angles. Holy. No fucking way. He's like, bro. That was gold. Caught in the act. I can explain. Sure. Fuck is that? That's calm. Fuck. Okay. This was great. Song is a banger. Well done. That was actually very, very entertaining. I mean, they always are, right? But the concept of this one was actually very, very interesting. You know, like I was pretty locked there. I won't lie. I was pretty locked in. So Again, Offspring coming back with the really solid concepts, and a lot of the editing in this was fantastic as well. The transitions, the music video style editing there too, that was solid. Um, but Shining Star, I don't know. There's a lot of good moments in here, especially like walking in and getting caught in the act. That was good too. Um, Ink. I was either gonna go editing, but I think Shining Star here is the concept. I think we're gonna have to go with the concept. Again, Offspring kind of knocked it out of the park, being like original, but also like making it humorous, but not like too over the top. Like it hits a good sweet spot. You know what I mean? And that's why I think the concept is definitely a Shining Star here for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Homie Offspring Series. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube channel. And thank you so much for your submission, my friend. Much love. They're only 6 subs away from 250, so make sure you go show them some love on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter as well. They're only 7 followers away from 820, so make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. Get it, baby. All right. So, we left off with the Homie Offspring Series. Up next is the Homie Mac 2 times, a very talented multi-genre artist. Has had a fucking stellar last couple of months, especially their submissions that we've reacted to here on the show. Have just been fucking gnarly, man. Like, literally fucking gnarly. So, this week, Mac 2 times submitted Contagious. Let's pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here. I'm down. 3 days ago. And we got lyrics and description too. Okay. Love this cover. Again, a very Mac 2 times style cover. Let's get into it. I'm down. Mac 2 times, Contagious. What a crazy sample.
Baby, I feel your love's contagious. When together, I feel so painless. Stay up there, you low-key dangerous. I don't wanna feel no anguish. You number one out of all these faces. Made out of dream, but can't fake this. I'm losing myself, I can't tame it. You perfect, baby, girl, don't change it. I can understand when you're not in the mood. Baby, I just wanna be here with you, like first time that we met, it was cool. Now we on another level on the moonlight. I just wanna be stuck here with you. Let's forever year together on the moonlight. I just wanna be stuck here with you. Let's forever year together in the moonlight. It wasn't perfect the day I met her. But deep down I know we can make it. When I see you, I'm never fed up. And I start war about you, I'm crazy. Baby, I feel your love's contagious. When together I feel so painless. Stay up there, you low-key dangerous. I don't wanna feel no anguish. You number one out of all these faces. Made out of dream, but can't fake this. I'm losing myself, I can't tame it. You perfect, baby, girl, don't change it. Baby, I feel your love's contagious. When together I feel so painless. Stay up there, you low-key dangerous. I don't wanna feel no anguish. You number one out of all these faces. Made out of dream, but can't fake this. I'm losing myself, I can't tame it. You perfect, baby, girl, don't change it.
Wow. Wow. You know, Mac 2 times is really getting into their bag. Like, they're really exploring other genres pretty hard and doing it really well. I mean, I suppose they always really have, right? They've always had that, like, multi-sound style to them. But this one's pushing, like, full-blown R&B pop vibes, and I think Mac does a really good fucking job with that. Like, a really good job. Well done. Well done, my friend. we're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and talk about the overall theme of Contagious. So, instrumental, a very interesting choice out of Mac Two Times. But again, obviously Mac had a vision, and I feel like they accomplished it, right? So a very interesting choice, but I feel like Mac made it work for them. You know, they really, really did. Um, certain artists might have a little bit of a struggle trying to come up with something for this instrumental, but Mac Two Times definitely did not. So, instrumental mix, fantastic. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing, especially with like a sample heavy type of instrumental. Sometimes you gotta watch that mix and make sure it's not like super clashy or anything. But again, like I said, nothing that like really tweaked me out or that I would like ultimately um switch up when it comes down to the instrumental mix, right? So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Uh hmm. I do like the samples here, but I feel like the drums are up there too, but I think ultimately it would probably have to go to structure. The way that this is structured out is really, really fucking solid. And it gave Mac like the canvas to do what they did on it. So let's go structure for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix, a very like pure and honest vocal mix. But as far as like the quality and levels go, nothing that I would like fully switch up on this one at all either. You know what I mean? And again, nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Mac's vocals sit really well. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing that I would like really, really switch up in terms of like quality and levels, right? But again, Mac is on the road to kind of like switching up genres again, so I'm sure that they'll be making adjustments to their mix, depending on the style that they kind of go for, right? So, vocal mix solid, vocal shining star. I do like the writing and lyrics, but I think for this one we're gonna have to go flow and cadence and delivery. Mac really, really did his thing on this, so I think flow and cadence and delivery is definitely gonna take the cake here for sure, 100%, especially in the hook, right? But instrumental solid, definitely the um structure here. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics, Contagious. I love the cover, simple, straight to the point. And then you have the Brazilian flag in the middle, which I think is sick. And then the parental advisory bottom right. So it does have that like Mac Two Times kind of feel to it, right? So aesthetics on point, definitely for a single, for sure. Um, Overall theme of Contagious, I mean, you know, we've all been in love like that where, fucking, some people's love is just like, is just like so intoxicating that, again, it feels contagious, like Mac Two Times is describing here. Um, we've all been there at least once, and then if you haven't, you probably will. You know what I mean? You probably fucking will. And kind of having that kind of love is both a bittersweet feeling, right? Because it's almost like too much, but also at the same time, it's a pure love as well. So I think Mac did a really good job kind of talking about what that type of love experience was like for them. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge, huge shout out to the homie Mac Two Times. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Mac Two Times on SoundCloud as well. They're only 5 followers away from 30. And of course, make sure you go follow Mac Two Times on Twitter as well. They are only 3 followers away from 200. That's a W fucking milestone. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 channels per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. Much, much love. So, let's see here. We left off the homie Mac Two Times. Up next is the homie Saint Wave, who actually submitted a little bit late, but we only have a few more submissions left, so we'll just crank out Saint Wave submissions right now. So, it's been a while since we heard from Saint Wave. A very, very talented hip-hop artist came through with a track titled Dusk/Dawn, right? And again, it's been a while. Definitely not in 2026, right? But I don't know if we got many submissions from them last year. It's definitely been quite some time. So let's go see what Saint Wave has been up to here. I'm definitely down. All right. Give it a quick little pause, Rooney. So let's see here. Dusk Dawn, October 29th. So still pretty new. Pretty new. Not super old, but not like super new. So let's get into it. Been a while, but I've got a lot in stock. Let's fucking go, Saintwave, man. I'm down. I'm fucking down. Let's get into it. Saintwave, Dust Dawn. Let's go.
Everything outside is fucking trash. It's the AM, morning dew, fresh brew, in the globe as my canvas. East Coast, West Coast, they don't soccer. Tens, hundreds, then some commas. Lines got blurred after Obama. Slippery slope when I woke, I skied the mountain. Cascaded to see the peak again. I romanticize resilient. Is it optimism? Is it foolishness? Chasing dreams already lived. Where the fuck I been? Where the fuck I been? I get lost in it. Forgot how I gave to it. I just need a fucking beer, man. Every time I get like that, so show the team. What is a nigga gon' do? What's a nigga gotta do just to get some bread, man? Y'all really wild. I can't stoop that low, man. I really can't stoop that low. Y'all really sick, nigga. Damn. It's the PM. New pen, cold brew for the night. Whole moon went blue crossing. Moonlit by the fantasy, fuming off the energy. Got hot but cooler heads won. Ate first, then I left some breadcrumbs. I'll find the blessings when I wake up. When I feels weird getting home in the day. Had to lock in, but I won. Worked all these hours, what they talking about? High and almighty, but I'm on higher ground. I can't fight down. I can't fight down. I'm on higher.
Wow.
I can't fight down.
Dude, that chant is so sick. That chant is very liable to get stuck in your head for sure. It's one of those chants that like you could eat. It's just so catchy, right? But this was great. This was great. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. We're gonna talk about three things here. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of A Dust Dawn. Let's fucking get it, baby. We got Ghost coming through with a prime for 12 months, 1 fucking year exactly. Welcome back, my friend. Thank you so much for the primer. Welcome back to the family. 1 year is fucking a banging out of you, my friend. Much love. Thank you so much for the 12, baby. Sorry I'm late. No worries. Also, why the fuck did I come out again? I don't know. Maybe you never sent it the last time or something like that. But either way, thank you again, regardless. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're going to talk about three things here. Like I said, we're going to talk about the instrumental. We're going to talk about vocals. We're going to talk about the overall theme of Dusk Dawn. Instrumental mix. Especially with the sample, I think it's really solid. Nothing that I would like really tweak out about or kind of gripe about, especially like with that sample and the drums and the structure and how Saintwave sounds on the instrumental. Nothing that really kind of tweaked me out on this. Definitely not. Nothing again like super clashy to overbearing or anything that like really kind of like tweaks it out, you know. So instrumental mix definitely up there. I have no gripes at all. Instrumental shining star. Samples up there. The melodies are definitely up there. But I think for this one, we're gonna have to go drums just because they're so bouncy. You know what I mean? Like they're just so bouncy. So I feel like the drums are just like super gnarly. So I mean, you could really argue melody and structure here for sure. You could definitely argue melody and structure, but I think I think drums take the cake for sure, especially with the sound selection and whatnot. Yeah, I think drums for sure, 100%. So, instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk Vocals, vocal mix. Again, crisp, clean, clear, straight to the point. Saint Wave has a really solid natural voice, so you don't really want to go too crazy, especially like with their type of style when it comes down to the mix. You know what I mean? So, vocal mix again in terms of quality and levels, nothing that I would like really tweak out about. But I do enjoy the mix, 100%. And like I said, nothing super clashy, too overbearing. I think Saint Wave sounds really solid on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely, so nothing I would like ultimately tweak out about, right? So, vocal mix definitely solid. Vocal Shining Star. Vocal Shining Star is interesting because I think writing's up there. You could definitely argue writing. But I think flow and cadence and delivery definitely takes the cake for me. Flow and cadence and delivery just made this song very, very entertaining, but also like very serious as well. So, instrumental solid, definitely drums, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, a very, very eye-catching type of cover. Very eye-catching, especially like with the background. Simple, but very effective, especially when you take a longer look at it. Then you have the text in the middle here, especially on the body's chest, right? So I feel like this one is fucking insane. And it does have that more like serious tone to it as well. So aesthetics definitely on point and very, very aesthetically pleasing as well. Overall theme, Dusk Dawn, it does feel like a very like motivational, like get up and go kind of track, right? It does feel very motivational. It does feel like, like nothing's stopping me. I don't give a fuck. It really has that feel to it. So I think Saint Wave did a really good job kind of like establishing that motivational type of energy no matter what. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Saint Wave. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Saint Wave on Spotify, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow Saint Wave on Twitter as well. They are literally only 9 followers away from 910. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Much love. Ghost coming through with some crazy gifted here. Holy shit, man. Ghost, you're a fucking legend. Again, you did not have to do that. That's huge. What the fuck? Ghost coming through with what? 9 gifted and the primer, man? You're a fucking legend. You're an absolute fucking legend. Thank you so much, King. You did not have to do that. You did not have to fucking do that. That's like absolutely legendary. Let's fucking go, Ghost. Coming for that number 1 gifted spot over there. I think you're gonna take King Mark out. Like, holy shit. Like, holy fuck. Ghost coming through with the 9 ball, man. Thank you so much, King. 10 fucking gifted. You're a fucking legend, man. You're a fucking legend. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much. Your support will never ever go unnoticed, man. You're a fucking goat. At the beginning, oh yeah, Saint Wave. Yeah, I like that a lot. Saint Wave. I really like that structure a lot. And the chant is just something that I feel like could just get stuck in your head so much. You know what I mean? Like, it just gets stuck in your head. Very catchy. So, well done, my friend. Well done. That was a great return submission for sure. For sure. All love, bro. No, all love to you, my friend. You're a fucking go for that, man. You did not have to do that. You're a fucking legend. Absolutely legend. Made it super loopable? Oh, yeah, exactly. It came out sick. It definitely came out sick. For sure. So, last and most certainly not least submission of the night, because we already reacted to the homie Ghost. So make sure you go show Ghost and the rest of the Music Mondays patrons some love. And definitely go check out my reaction to Ghost's submission tonight. Thanks, bro. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for your submission. Let's fucking go. But up next is a very, very talented multi-genre hip-hop artist. Most Dope Kimon came through with I Need Like Scary Bitches, official visual. I'm down. Now again, Kimon had a stellar, stellar 2025. From projects to collabs to visuals to music videos to just so much shit. Kimon had a really, really solid last year. And I have no doubt that they're going to continue that into 2026. So I'm down. Let's get into it. Let's pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got. You guys know me and the Kimon visuals, man. I'm always a big, big fan. Proud by the homie K Subi. January 1st, so this dropped on New Year's Day. Very legendary. All right. Go 720 just because we're streaming. Let's go full green. Let's get into it. Most dope Kimon. I need like Scary Bitches official visual. Let's go. Wow. This was so bouncy and fun. Well done. Very bouncy. You know, Kimon has a little bit of something for everybody, you know, and it's all like a very Kimon type of style, right? Like their variety is so wide, but it still has that Kimon flavor at the core center of it, right? This one was, again, very bouncy, very fun, and I love the visualizer here for a couple of reasons, but let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about three things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the official visualizer for I Only Like Scary Bitches. So, instrumental. I love the choice. I love the choice. Again, it has that like alt plug and B, trap and B kind of vibe, right? And Kimon does so well with this style, it just doesn't shock me anymore that they just slide and use these instrumentals like a canvas, right? So I love the choice. But the mix is solid, especially the drums. I love the sound selection on the drums, but the 808's fucking insane too. So, but instrumental mix solid. Nothing like super clashy or too overbearing. Nothing that like stuck out to me that I felt like needed a change. Definitely not. So, instrumental mix definitely right where it needs to be for sure. Instrumental Shining Star got to be the drums. All I could hear was the hats in like a good way, because like once you like find these certain sounds and certain instrumentals, you just start like spamming them in your head. You know what I mean? And you're just like, holy fuck. So yeah, for the instrumental Shining Star, definitely the drums. Although I do like the structure, but I think the drums take the cake here. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. I mean, very solid, you know. Again, like thinking back on it, Kimon has had a very consistent vocal mix over the last few months, you know. Again, not really a shocker, but something I always want to point out for anybody new here, right? But Kimon's vocal mix is definitely very, very consistent. Levels are solid, quality solid, nothing I would like fully change. And then, you know, it's one of those things where Kimon, you know, as they develop as an artist, they're gonna continue to develop that mix as well. So nothing that I would like fully change on the vocal mix, right? Vocal Shining Star. You know, I was gonna say writing and lyrics. I feel like Kimon was really talking his shit on here, but their flow and cadence and delivery is just so effortless and fun, and it sounds like they're just sliding on the instrumental, man. So to be completely real with you, I think flow and cadence and delivery take the cake on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk about the official visualizer here. So there's a few things that I like about this, right? Not only is it like the location, right? Because it's like a few like indoor like house locations, right? But one thing I really like about this is Kimon switches up the clips here. Like it's not just like one looping GIF throughout the whole song. Like the clips do switch up, and that I think just shows a little bit more effort than most people do. You know what I mean? Because like Kimon wants to make them at least like not only eye catching, but it keeps your attention, right? And the fact that Kimon uses all these clips throughout this, I feel like the editing is the shining star here because it's simple, straight to the point, but also still very engaging for the song. You know what I mean? Like very, very engaging for the song, especially like we've seen like all different types of visuals in this style from Kimon, and I feel like they're one of the only artists that we've seen here on the show that does this very well because they'll take clips from like a music video, take like two or three of them, and do this exact thing and kind of have a visualizer for it and then a music video for it. So it's genius. It's great. It's exactly what every artist should be doing. So visualizer, shining star, definitely the editing, 100% well done, my friend. Absolutely well done. Huge shout out to the homie Most Dope Kimon. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel. They just hit 100 subs. Congratulations. They're only 10 away from 110. And of course, make sure you go follow Kimon on Twitter as well. They're only 8 followers away from 30. So make sure you go show them some love over there, the bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 340 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists and channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Well done, my friends. Well done. That does conclude all of our submissions for tonight's episode 258. You guys are fucking amazing. Let's get some shout outs. Let's show some love to the chat. Let's show some love to everybody that did submit tonight. And let's close her out here, my friends. So, per usual, I want to give a quick shout out to the chat. The chat was fucking bumping tonight, and you guys are fucking wonderful. Huge shout out to everybody that came through and showed love. Even if you just lurked and chilled, I appreciate you, my friends. I appreciate you. So, thank you. Huge shout out to the homie Sam's Raps. Huge shout out to the homie 3. Huge shout out to the homie TDG. Huge shout out to the homie Saint Wave. Thank you for coming through, my friend. Welcome. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost coming through with the prime for the 12er. And Ghost dropping fucking literally another 9er in here, bro. You're a fucking legend, by the way. Jesus, bro. You're fucking... That is just amazing of you, bro. That is just amazing of you. I definitely got to return the favor for sure. Because you're a fucking legend for that. That is just insane, man. Ghost coming through with all those gifts. Thank you so much, my friend. You're a fucking absolute legend, man. And then anybody else, like I said, that lurked and chilled. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you for stopping by. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit tonight as well. Huge shout out to the homie Flux and all of our Music Mondays patrons over there, Jordan, TDG, and the homie Ghost. And huge shout out to the homie Flux, Sam's Raps, Jordan 3, TDG, the homie Braden, Offspring Mysterious, Mag 2 times, Saint Wave, the homie Most Dope Kimon, and the homie Ghost. Let's fucking get it. And of course, much love to everybody else that did, like I said, submit and tune in, all that good jazz. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. That emote is cold. I like that one. I like that one too. But again, if you'd like to submit for episode 259, submissions will be live tomorrow, January 6th. If you're watching this on YouTube, submissions are already open, so make sure you go submit and drop your links and portfolios and all that good jazz. And then, of course, again, this episode will be available on the Music Mondays Patreon tonight. And then, of course, it'll be available on all audio platforms this Thursday, and then YouTube this Saturday. So make sure you go show that some love per usual. I'll rewatch the reaction now as well. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Oh, and there's a few updates for the Music Mondays Awards as well. Voting opens this Friday. Nominations are good. Graphics are good. So we got a few things set for that. But yeah, like I said, submissions open for episode 259 tomorrow. So make sure you follow us on social media to stay up to date. at All Music Mondays. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that good jazz. We are available everywhere. And then, of course, make sure you stream the Music Mondays podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good jazz. Anchor.fm/All Music Mondays. And then, of course, per usual, make sure you follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All of my socials, all the good jazz is linked down below. I quite literally stream 5 to 6 days a week. We're always doing speedrunning stuff, watch party stuff, and then, of course, the home of the Music Mondays podcast is right here, baby. So, per usual, see you guys tomorrow for a regular stream. And then I'll see you guys next week for episode 259 of the Music Mondays podcast. I love you all. Take care. Be safe. It's your boy Zom Slays. And we'll see you next time on Music Mondays. And we'll see you tomorrow for a regular stream. Peace. Bye, bye, bye. Be safe. Love you guys. Bye, bye, bye.